Mrs. Staub's property here on Elmwood Road in Westport. All right. So you've got a hemlock hedge running along this side of the property. And as I mentioned, these I would recommend treating to prevent the common insect issues. Something called hemlock woolly adelgid or hemlock scale. Those are the two most popular. So typically you spray these twice during the season with horticultural oil, which is like basically the most environmentally friendly way of smothering the insects. Okay. And then these also, along with all the other trees in your property, I would trim them at least once a year. So this way you don't lose lawn space and have the branches or the width of the tree encroach in the lawn. The plum trees, these get something called black knot fungus. And if they get black knot fungus, then there's no cure. So eventually you're going to lose them. So these, knowing it's a very common problem, I would spray these with a fungicide 3 times in the spring, which helps prevent that disease from occurring. Okay. These are inkberry hollies. These guys here. And you got some hydrangeas running around the property. I would remulch it every spring. So the idea is you throw down a little bit of mulch, about an inch every spring, that replenishes what's decomposed from the previous year. Okay, and then also acts as a weed barrier. So it's more cost effective typically to remulch than it is to budget more hours for weeding. Okay, so that's something to consider. So I'll put that as part of my quote. The boxwood should be tied with green jute twine. If you look at David's property, we tied his boxwoods. This way, when you get a heavy snow, it doesn't crush the plants and doesn't create holes. And these are one of the more expensive plants in your property, so it's usually worthwhile to consider doing that. All right. Yeah, you've got some brass path lights back here. So we do the same thing. We use brass fixtures. So we could give you a quote in the future for adding lighting. You've got some white lime stains running down some of your masonry, so that you can use muriatic acid to clean up some of those white lime stains. When I'm here now, I'll take some samples off these diseased boxwoods, send it into the state laboratory and see what type of disease issue you have here. So I'll take care of that for you. Tree hydrangeas, those look fine, healthy. Then we talked about replacing some of these trees along the back and along the side of the property that don't look healthy. Okay. So let's see, you got 1 pine, 1 Colorado blue spruce. So I'm just gonna count the trees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I would keep this spruce. Actually, that's a concolor fir, so I'll keep that. That's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So you got 11 trees that don't look that healthy. Okay, and that we talked about possibly replacing those. Alternatively, the other option is you could take the healthy trees in here, plant them in the back. The problem is, actually I wouldn't do that because these concolor firs won't do very well along the back. There's not enough sunlight. I would end up planting other trees that are a little bit more shade tolerant along the back. Okay. So you got a bunch of pear trees in here. So these again should just be shaped and trimmed next year. These are all liriope. So you got spicata liriope all over the property, which is this right down here. It's a nice plant. Viburnum. more American boxwood. This is the area I think that you said was getting wet. You can just see the whole area is sloping back this way, so you just have to be careful when we cut the lawn to not damage the lawn. So I'm just taking this video also just to get a kind of a bird's eye view of everything on the property, so I can give you a proper estimate for maintaining it. Some more hydrangeas. All the water must just run down this side on a heavy storm. Emerald green arborvitae, that's what these are called. These, again, you want to tie with green jute twine, just one. Typically, at this side, just throw one loop around the tree, and that prevents it from splitting open in a heavy snow. Ornamental grasses. The lawn has some pea spots from the dog. Nothing you can really do about that. You just have to kind of live with it. And these are all green velvet boxwoods in the front. These are a dwarf type of boxwood. Actually, my favorite type of dwarf, doesn't really have any issues. Dotzia, which are this, is in the front. Dragon Lady hollies, these guys here. This is all gravel in the front of the house. And we got mulch all the way going down through here as well. Niagara arborvitaes. They're shedding their branches, that's why they're a little sparse right now. And that's it, we'll talk to you soon, thanks.